My daughter was abducted, and I can't prove it. My daughter is the quiet sort. Real polite, says please and thank you. She plays by herself, mostly with older toys. No interest in fancy tablets or anything battery operated. An old soul, I reckon. She doesn't even have any friends. Not that I'd think she'd be able to make any if she tried. Don't assume I don't think the world of her. I do. She's just not the sociable type. I always pass it off as a quirk, despite her teachers and doctors expressing concern. It never bothered me any. She's an independent, I'd say. But they never knew her like I did. The bedtime routine started when she was about 4. I'd tuck her into bed and give her a peck on the forehead and offer to read her a book. She always declined, mumbling a "no thank you," before flipping over. "Make sure you lock the door," she'd mutter. Weird thing for a kid her age, but I obliged, throwing the light switch and clicking the twist lock into place. No nightlight ever. She always liked it pitch black. I'd get changed in my pajamas and robe, and read for an hour or two before climbing into bed. Like clockwork, the sound of little feet pitter-pattered down the hallway. I smiled. She always came alive at night. She'd climb into bed with me and hold me tight. Sometimes we'd exchange stories and jokes. Sometimes I'd read to her. Sometimes we just laid there, her head in my lap as I twirled her chestnut curls around the end of my finger. I loved these nights. I cherished them, held on to them as my most treasured memories. But all that changed about 3 days ago. It was getting late, and she really needed to get to sleep. I gave her a kiss and told her it was time for bed, but she wanted to stay up longer. Why she would reserve her tantrums for me alone in the middle of the night escaped me. But this particular time, I had enough. I grabbed her little hand and marched her down the hallway. She dragged her feet and tried to free herself from my grip. I refused. I regret that now. "Mom, I can't!" she screeched. I just rolled my eyes. Why not? "Because it's in there," she said with a whisper, her eyes pleading with me. This was ridiculous. She'd always been a sensible child. She picks now to question that sensibility? What is? She was quiet for a moment, her little face scrunched up in worry. She motions me to bend down, and as I do, she cups her hands to my ear. "The thing that puts on my face and acts like me during the day." As soon as the words tumble from her mouth, the click of a door unlocking ricocheted down the hall behind us. Now, I don't know what happened after that. Truth be told, most was a big blur, like someone scrubbed at my brain with a giant toothbrush to erase any trace of the information. Next thing I know, I'm waking up the following day in bed as if nothing ever happened at all. But needless to say, what transpired, I'm only sure of 2 things. My daughter doesn't visit me at night anymore. And whatever that thing is sitting behind me, watching me type this through hooded eyes, that is not my child. I'm not even sure it's human.